Timestamp 2:37 a.m. The hiker vanished instantly. The storm rolled in like a living thing, swallowing the ridge in seconds. Snowflakes thickened into a white wall, erasing his footprints. No trail, no struggle, just silence. The mountain seemed to exhale, holding its breath. Days later, the search team arrives at the summit, boots crunching through untouched snow. The trail is clear. Boot prints lead right to the edge of a sheer cliff. Then, abruptly, they stop. No drag marks, no blood, just nothing. The mountain doesn't give up its secrets easily. The lead rescuer kneels, brushing snow from the prints with gloved hands. Each step is precise, deliberate, no panic, no hesitation. The last print sits exactly where the cliff drops away. The wind carries a whisper, as if the mountain itself is laughing. Back at base camp, the team debates what they've seen. One veteran mutters, "This ain't natural. The snow's too perfect. The prints too clean. No struggle, no fall, just gone." The camera lingers on a map, a single red pin marking ridge line 0. The next morning, the team packs up their gear, ready to leave, but the lead officer hesitates, staring at the cliff edge. "We're not done here," he says, voice tight. The wind picks up, carrying something unnatural in its howl. The mountain has more to tell. Cut to a satellite image of ridgeline 0, zoomed in on the exact spot where the hiker vanished. The snow appears almost too smooth, as if something erased the evidence. The team's boots leave fresh prints. Yet none remain the next morning. The mountain is watching. The hiker's camera, recovered days later, shows the final moments. The screen glitches, then stabilizes, just in time to capture the man's face. His eyes widen as something unseen pushes against the storm wall. The camera shakes violently before cutting to black. The team reviews the footage in silence. One rescuer leans forward, voice barely audible. It wasn't the storm that took him, it was something else. The screen flickers, revealing a faint, geometric shape behind the hiker. Like a door opening into nowhere. The mountain has secrets. The next day, the team's equipment vanishes overnight. Tools, maps, even the recovered camera, all gone. The only trace is a single, perfect boot print in the snow, leading nowhere. The mountain doesn't just take people, takes their memories too. Years later, a local guide tells a story around a campfire. They say ridgeline 0 isn't just a mountain, it's a threshold. The firelight dances on his face as he leans in, voice dropping to a whisper. Some things aren't meant to be seen. The wind carries his words away. The camera pans to ridgeline 0 once more. The storm now a distant memory, but the mountain stands silent, its secrets buried beneath the snow. The question lingers, what happened to the hiker? And why does the mountain refuse to answer? The truth is out there. If you dare to look. The final shot lingers on the boot print. Perfect, untouched, leading nowhere. The camera pulls back to reveal the vast, empty valley below. The wind howls, but no one answers. The mystery remains. What lies beyond ridgeline 0? The screen cuts to black. A single question remains unanswered. If the mountain took one man, how many others have vanished into its silence? The camera lingers on the final boot print, as if waiting for an answer. The mystery of ridgeline 0 is far from over. The wind howls with a sound that vibrates through the bones, carrying temperatures that should freeze breath instantly. Yet, something else moves beneath the frozen surface of the glacier. High-definition thermal drones scan the glacial expanse, revealing a massive heat signature pulsing beneath the solid ice. This thermal anomaly contradicts every known rule of thermodynamics in this sub-zero environment. The heat signature is not a geothermal vent. It pulses rhythmically, mimicking a heartbeat deep within the frozen bedrock. It suggests a source of energy that should not exist this far north. Survival is impossible here without thermal protection. The human body cannot generate enough metabolic heat to create such a disturbance in the surrounding ice. This visual evidence proves a force is active below the surface. As search teams look down, high-altitude radar systems register sudden, violent shifts in atmospheric density directly over the vanished hiker's coordinates. The air itself seems to be turning into a liquid state momentarily. The radar spikes precisely at the timestamp of the final photograph. This proves the anomaly is not a coincidence but the direct cause of the man's vanishing from the physical plane. The radar returns a distorted, inverted signal that resembles a geometric shape rather than a human silhouette. It looks like a doorway opening in the sky over the frozen peak. The sudden atmospheric compression causes the surrounding ice to fracture without any seismic activity or falling debris. Massive blocks of glacial ice shatter into dust as if crushed by an invisible giant. We upload videos like this every day. Subscribe so you don't miss out. Television. The search team's last recorded coordinates pinpoint a jagged ridge where the storm swallowed their colleague. Yet, when they arrive, the wind howls through an eerie silence. No footprints beyond where the snow should have been trampled. The air hums with an unnatural stillness, as if the mountain itself holds its breath. Veteran rescue worker Marcus Cole adjusts his headset, his voice cracking with frustration. This isn't just bad luck. It's like the mountain erased him. The thermal cameras show no heat signature, yet the snow here is warmer than it should be, almost breathing. Hidden beneath the snow, something glistens. Geometric fractures like jagged teeth carved into the ice. The patterns defy nature, too precise to be wind or avalanche. It's not erosion, Marcus mutters, his gloved fingers tracing the edges. It's cutting. The federal agents arrive at dawn, their black SUVs rolling in like a funeral procession. No introductions, no explanations, just a wave of their badges and the snap of cuffs securing the rescue team's equipment. Thermal logs, GPS data, even their personal notes. This is classified. One says, voice hollow, you don't get to see. Back at base camp, the confiscated data is wiped clean, erased from hard drives, scrubbed from servers, but Marcus hides a fragment of his thermal footage on a memory stick, tucked inside his jacket lining. He knows the truth won't stay buried. Not when the mountain watches. Leaked audio logs from the rescue team reveal whispers of something far stranger than a blizzard. It wasn't the weather. One voice crackles. It was like the mountain swallowed him whole, and then spat him back out wrong. The recordings cut off abruptly, as if someone deleted them mid-sentence. Geologists later confirm the fractures aren't natural. They're too clean, too precise. This isn't erosion. One says, this is engineering. The patterns match no known geological phenomenon. They match something far older, far more deliberate, something that shouldn't exist in the modern world. The federal agent's arrival isn't just about silencing the rescue team. It's about silencing the mountain. Their confiscation of data isn't an accident. It's a cover-up, because if the world knew what lies beneath Ridgeline Zero, it wouldn't just be a missing man. It would be the beginning of something far worse. Marcus, now a ghost in his own story, sits in a dimly lit motel room. The memory stick burns in his pocket. He knows he can't stay silent. Not when the mountain's secrets are too dangerous to keep buried. But every time he reaches for his phone, he hesitates, because the last thing he remembers seeing wasn't just a blizzard. It was a door, frozen shut, waiting. The official report calls it an unfortunate accident. But the fractures tell a different story. They tell of something ancient, something alive, buried beneath the ice. And if Marcus is right, the mountain isn't just hiding a man. It's hiding a truth that could unravel everything we think we know about the world. The next morning, Marcus wakes to find his motel room ransacked. The memory stick is gone. So is his phone. But on the pillow lies a single, folded note. No signature, no explanation, just 3 words scrawled in red ink. They know you see. The mountain has spoken, and it's not done yet. Marcus stands at the edge of Ridge Line Zero, the wind howling around him. He knows he should run, but something deeper than fear pulls him forward. The fractures glow faintly in the distance, like veins beneath the skin of the earth. He reaches into his pocket, feeling the cold weight of the memory stick. It's time to find out what's buried here. Deep within a sterile laboratory, a physicist adjusts a holographic display showing jagged spikes of electromagnetic energy erupting from the mountain's core. The data pulses like a living thing, defying all known physics. This wasn't just a spike. It was a pocket of energy, contained yet volatile as a ticking bomb. The sensor data wasn't just erratic. It was structured, precise, repeating patterns of distortion aligned with the exact moment the hiker vanished. Every reading from the summit station showed the same thing. A localized electromagnetic field strong enough to warp reality itself. But how? No known natural phenomenon could create this. Elena Vasquez leans forward, her fingers hovering over the screen as she traces the energy's trajectory. This isn't just a reading. It's a signature, she murmurs, and it matches something we've only theorized about in classified reports. A microvortice capable of bending space itself. The implications send a chill down the spine. The declassified weather research files reveal something even more unsettling. Microvortices aren't just rare. They're unstable. These pockets of energy don't just appear. They unravel reality around them. The mountain's ice, the very air, could collapse inward in an instant. And yet, no one saw anything. No explosion. No debris. The physicists cross-reference the summit data with global records of unexplained vanishings. Dozens of cases. Mountaineers, pilots, even entire expeditions vanish without a trace, each one tied to a similar electromagnetic anomaly. Could this be more than coincidence? Or is there a pattern no one's dared to connect? Vasquez's voice drops to a whisper as she pulls up a classified radar log. Look at this, she says, pointing to a sudden, violent distortion in the atmosphere. It's not just heat or pressure. It's a tear in the air itself. Something pulled the hiker into another dimension, or at least, another state of existence. The room falls silent. The team debates whether to share this with authorities. The implications are too dangerous, too uncontrollable. If others discover how to replicate this, the consequences could rewrite the world as we know it. But keeping it secret might cost another life. The hiker's family is waiting for answers, and time is running out. Back at the mountain, a drone captures something impossible. The ice itself shudders. A fissure splits open beneath the vanished hiker's boot prints, revealing a void so dark it absorbs all light. The camera's lens flickers as the distortion warps the feed. This wasn't an accident. It was an event. The physicists realized the energy wasn't just distorting space. It was erasing it. The hiker didn't vanish into thin air. He was unmade, pulled into a place where the laws of physics don't apply. The boot prints terminate not because he walked away, but because the ground itself refused to exist where he stood. This isn't a mystery. It's a warning. As the team reviews the data one final time, a hidden sensor log flashes on the screen, a brief, unmarked reading from a military outpost. The timestamp matches the hiker's disappearance. The energy signature is identical. Someone else knew. Someone else recorded it, and they've been keeping it hidden for decades. The final piece of the puzzle clicks into place. The electromagnetic anomaly wasn't just a natural phenomenon. It was engineered. Someone, somewhere, has been testing this for years. The mountain wasn't a victim. It was a test site, and the hiker, just another casualty in a secret experiment gone wrong. Vasquez's hands tremble as she pulls up a satellite image of the mountain. The energy readings align perfectly with a series of underground tunnels, long thought to be natural formations. But they weren't natural. They were built, and if they're connected to the anomaly, then the mountain isn't just a place. It's a machine. The team realizes they've been looking at this wrong. The mountain isn't just a location. It's a gateway, and if the energy can erase reality, then it can also open it. The hiker didn't vanish. He was transported somewhere, someone. And if that's true, then the question isn't how he disappeared. It's where he went As the screen flickers with the final data points, a hidden message appears in the corner. A time-stamped alert from a military source. Project Icarus. Phase 1 complete. Subject successfully relocated. The room falls into stunned silence. The hiker wasn't lost. He was moved. And if this is true, then the world is about to learn something it's not ready for. The camera's final footage flickers back to life after months of corruption. Static dissolves into grainy black and white frames. A lone figure steps into the storm. Their breath fogs in the frigid air. The wind howls like a warning. The screen distorts, then clears. The man pauses. His eyes widen. Something unseen shifts behind the blizzard's veil. The man's foot sinks into snow so deep it should have buried him instantly. Yet he stands. His boots leave no trace. The storm's fury intensifies. A wall of white roars closer. He raises his camera, capturing something impossible. A flicker of light behind the blizzard. Not snow, not ice. A shape, a distortion in the air. The footage cuts to black. Then, static. A voice whispers through the distortion. Not his, something else. The audio is distorted, layered with a frequency that shouldn't exist. The man's face twists in terror. His mouth moves. But no sound reaches the camera. The storm's roar drowns out everything. Scientists restore the corrupted footage using quantum decryption algorithms. The images reveal a phenomenon no one has ever documented. A localized electromagnetic pulse erupts from the snow. It warps the air itself. The man's camera lens captures it, briefly, before the distortion consumes everything. The storm isn't natural. It's a reaction. The electromagnetic pulse isn't just a burst. It's a door. A temporary rift in reality. The footage shows the man's reflection in the snow warped, stretched. His eyes lock onto something beyond the storm. The camera tilts upward. The sky splits open, not with clouds, with something else. A void, a place that shouldn't exist. The footage ends with the man's camera lens cracking. Not from cold, from the pressure of whatever lies beyond. The sensor data shows a spike in electromagnetic energy, one that shouldn't be possible. It's not a storm, it's an event, and it's not the first time this has happened. Across the globe, there are others, hikers, scientists, adventurers who vanished in the same way, stepping into a storm, never to return. Their cameras, if recovered, show the same phenomenon. A localized electromagnetic pulse, a rift in reality. The question isn't how they disappeared, it's why it's happening now. The data suggests these events aren't random. They follow a pattern, a cycle. The electromagnetic pulses align with celestial events, solar flares, cosmic ray surges. But the timing is off. The pulses are too precise, too intentional, like something is testing the boundaries of our world. Like something is waiting. The recovered footage from the hiker's camera is just the beginning. It's a fragment, a piece of a much larger puzzle. The question isn't just about what happened to him. It's about what's next. The electromagnetic pulses are increasing in frequency. The storms are getting stronger. And the rifts, they're getting wider. Governments and agencies have known about these events for decades. They've covered them up, buried the data. But the evidence is in the footage, in the sensor readings, in the memories of those who've seen it. The question is, how long until the rifts become permanent? How long until something crosses over? The hiker's final moments aren't just a mystery, they're a warning. The electromagnetic pulses are growing, the storms are intensifying, and the rifts, they're not just openings, they're invitations. Something is on the other side. Something that doesn't belong here, and it's watching, waiting, for the next one to step through. The footage ends with the hiker's camera lens shattering. The screen goes black, but the audio lingers. A whisper, a voice, not his, something else. Something else is out there, and it's not alone. The question is, how many more will step through before it's too late? The Global Mapping Project reveals something chilling. The electromagnetic signatures from these vanishments match across continents. They're not isolated. They're connected. A network, pattern, and it's growing. The question isn't just about the hiker. It's about all of us. Are we next? The hiker's final moments aren't just a tragedy. They're a call to action. The evidence is out there. The data is there. The question is, will anyone listen? Or will the next vanishing be the one that finally forces the world to look up and see what's already here? What is the dark truth behind this event? Share your theory below and watch our next investigation. Hi there! If you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to subscribe. Smiling face with smiling eyes, subscribe now before the next video. We have a special upload tomorrow. High voltage.